Hey again, it's Mr. S. Going to go over simplifying fractions for those of you that are having a hard time reading the tape measure and simplifying our fractions in between the inch line. So what I've done is I've drawn basically the tape measure and what it would look like up on the board so we can kind of go through how to factor out some of the measurements that we may come across. So first what we're going to go over is kind of how the tape measure is broken down. This is review, but again, we'll cover it real quick. We know that the height of our marking is relevant to the size of the measurement. So the larger the unit of measurement, the larger the mark. Half inches are larger than 1/8 of an inch, and so my half-inch mark comes higher than my 1/8 of an inch mark. You'll notice here, I have the heights written down for the corresponding fractions of an inch. So the 1/16ths are this little row right here, and then the 1/8ths above it, and then the green arrow, you'll see quarters, and then again, the biggest one that we just talked about is halves, right there, okay? So, if you pull tape, okay, to your board, and your board comes all the way and hits here, out in the field, okay, to this little guy, this is where my measurement is, okay? No worries. Remember, the smallest unit of measure on the black and yellow Stanleys, these ones right here, is 1/16 of an inch, okay? So if I come from my 1-inch line, which is this full line all the way through the tape, and I count by ones, that'll give you your measurement over 16. So it's 1 inch and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that written out would look like 1 and 11/16 of an inch. Just like that. Okay? So counting by ones, if I have an odd number in the numerator, the top of my fraction, right? If I have my fraction, this is the numerator, this is the denominator, right? So my top number, the numerator, if it's odd, I'm fine. I don't need to simplify. If your board hits here, right, the next one down, that's 12/16. It's one more past where we just were, okay? Now, 12/16, because I have an even number on top and an even number on bottom, I know I can simplify this fraction, and that's what I need to do. 12/16 is not a real measurement. You can't yell that out on a job site, okay? So to simplify, what I'm gonna do is called factoring. We're looking for the greatest common factor, okay? So I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna write both my numbers out, and we're gonna factor them. You guys should remember a table like this if you've learned factoring. If not, no worries. We're going to go over it right now. Okay, so I'll put 12 on the side, 16 on this side. All I'm looking for is my combination of multipliers to equal up to 12 or 16, whichever number I'm factoring. So first we're going to start with the number times 1. That's always my gimme. 12 and 1 are factors of 12, right? Now I have 6, 2, 4, and 3. These are all my combinations that I can get up to. 4 times 3 is 12, 6 times 2 is 12, 12 times 1 is 12, okay? 5 is not a factor because if I multiply out, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15, 12 hits in between there. All of these have to evenly go into the number, so I can't come up with a decimal when I'm factoring, okay? So the next one is 16. Again, we're gonna go 16, 1, and then I have 8, 2, I also have 4, okay? 8 times 2 is 16, 4 times 4 is 16, okay? So here's my factors for 16. So we factor, right? Factoring is done. We're gonna work right to left in order here, okay? Now we're gonna find the common factors, okay? If there's anything on each side that matches, that's what we're gonna keep. So there's no 12 over here, gone. No 16, gone. There's a pair of 1s, no 6s, no 8s over here. A pair of 2s, and a pair of 4s. And this 3 is by himself. All right, so I've grouped them, right? We have the common factor. Now I need to find the greatest one. So which is the largest of the 3? That's this guy right here, right? Now that I've found my GCF for the two numbers, that becomes the number that I divide with. For 12/16. So I'm going to take, sorry, I keep knocking clamps over. I'm sure that's not distracting at all. Okay, so I'm going to take 12 over 16 divided by 4 over 4, right? right? My divisor, 12 divided by 4 is 3. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So simplified 12/16 is the same as 3/4. And we can check this using our tape measure as well, because this is corresponding to this, right? If this is my 3/4 mark, here's 3/4, I've simplified the 3/4. So we know that we're right. And that's it.